What's happening, party people? Hope you guys are having a fantastic Saturday out there. It is still morning time, so good morning to you. For all of you late risers out there, it's almost 11 o'clock here Eastern. So get up, get moving. Don't sleep your life away. All right. So we've got a little something to drop on you guys today. It didn't happen yesterday, right? It happened on Thursday? What is today's Saturday? Jeez, Pete. Even after I said that, it felt like Sunday. All of my days, they just go like this. All right. So I wanted to tell you guys that you, everybody, me, the girl on the other side of the desk over here, we are all our first responders. As much as people don't want to take responsibility for themselves, you really need to take responsibility for yourself because of what happened on Thursday. I almost said Saturday, but it's happened 2 days ago, so it's Thursday. So I'm going to tell you a story, and then we'll go into some details. You're off until Wednesday. That's awesome, Russell. Happy birthday to you. All right, so Thursday, I noticed that our next door neighbor came home, and about 10 minutes later, just randomly, I decided to take the trash out, and I noticed that when I walked outside, she was still standing outside, and she was looking at her front door. I thought, this is strange, but whatever. And we very rarely see her, but I was like, hey, I get to see her today. So I said, hey, how you doing? And she goes, I'm okay. And I was like, what's going on? And she goes, I just got home and my front door is open. So you have decisions to make at this moment right here. These seconds that count, you have decisions to make. Now, obviously, she made the right decision by not entering the house, but that was as far as she could get because of her training. I do not recommend, I'm going to tell you the rest of the story and then I'll just tell you whatever. So I go back inside, I grab my gun, and I ask her, do you mind if I go in? And I asked her if she called the police already, and she said no, she didn't know what to do. So I said, well, you should have called the police, but since you haven't, and seconds count, let me go inside and I will clear the house for you. So I grabbed my weapon, I walked inside, and no one else was home. Her roommate wasn't home. Cleared the house. It didn't look like anybody had been in there. Then came back out, talked to her. And, we depend a lot on the police, right? And we depend a lot on other people to be responsible for us. But you need to be your first responder. When it comes to your personal safety, your personal protection, when it comes to CPR and first aid, when it comes to disasters, natural disasters, man-made disasters, if you really want to feel empowered, if you want to have confidence, protect yourself. You have to be able to protect yourself. Self-defense, personal protection, right? Safety, first aid, and in disasters, you have to have a protection plan. You have to have an emergency plan. You have to have an escape plan, right? And this was a prime example of this on Thursday, was she didn't. See, when you call the police, and I'm not saying not to call the police. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to be able to protect yourself because the cops are going to come after the fact. There's very little time when cops come in the middle of a break-in, because they're always minutes away. It's not their fault. They just can't be everywhere at every time and snap your finger and they pop up. They show up. They come in minutes. But most situations are seconds. You have to react within seconds, and you can't wait for minutes. The best thing to do, if you don't do anything, is obviously not to go inside and call the cops and just hang out outside your house and wait. Hopefully the person's not in there and just comes walking out randomly on you and the cops still haven't shown up yet. Now, personally for me, this was, it was a selfish thing I did because she lives right next door and I did not want to wait the minutes for the police to come. If there's somebody inside her house and my wife is here, I'm handling my shit. So it was a little bit selfish on my part. I wanted to protect her, but I was basically trying to protect us and our stuff. So you really need to stop and think. We get so caught up in our daily lives. We get so caught up in the next Kardashian movie or the next Oak Island mystery segment and whether or not they're going to get the treasure this time or not. But you really got to protect yourself. You have to stop. And do you have a personal protection plan? And you have to think about all the different variables. And it doesn't take, it's going to take some time, but it doesn't take that much time. And then once you have it together, then you don't think about it anymore because you just know what you're going to do in those situations. You know what you're going to do and you're going to react. They always talk about the F's, right? Fight, flee, freeze, faint. The 4 F's. Not every time you're going to fight. Not every time you're going to flee. Not every time. Well, hopefully you never faint and hopefully you don't freeze. But once you know those things and you're confident in your reactions and you practice your reactions and you know what you're going to do and you're competent on those reactions, then you're able to handle the situations and that builds your confidence. That makes you feel more confident. You can walk around and know you can handle your shit. It doesn't make you some Billy badass. That's not what I'm talking about because you guys know me. I'm not. I used to got picked on in school. I just know now that you're not going to fuck with me. But I don't go walking around looking for a fight either. So this is my thing to you. I encourage you. As a guy that has been brought up in martial arts, as a guy that teaches women self-defense, and I've taught women self-defense all over the country. I have helped thousands of women build confidence and learn how to defend themselves in a lot of different situations. Not just women, but men too. You have to have a plan. Because when the shit hits the fan, what are you going to do? In our self-defense seminars, we talk about, so what are you going to do? If you sat your friends down, guys or girls, but most of the time, we train women, so we talk about women. What are you going to do? If we're walking down the street, me and you, we're walking down the street, and somebody jumps me, what are you going to do? And most of the time, people are like, oh, well, if someone jumps you, then I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to fight, and then you can fight, and we can beat them. If you don't really know who your friends are, I'm going to tell you this, they're going to run on you. They're going to flee because I'm sorry, in a calm situation, they might be the defender of the galaxy, but when shit hits the fan, if they don't have the training and they don't know exactly what they're going to do in that situation, they're gonna run on you. A girl that did take our self-defense class had 2 friends with her. They were walking home from a bar. They rather than staying on the street where it was lit, they cut through a park. A guy was in the bushes. He jumped out and grabbed her, and her 2 friends ran on her, and she was sexually assaulted. What do you say to your friend after you run on them and you see them the next day? I don't even know. It's kind of a messed up situation. But you gotta know who your friends are. I have a lot of friends, but I do know that if I had to, when the poop gets thrown all over the place, I know there's a couple people that I know that are gonna have my back in any situation, ride or die. So that's one of the things that you need to ask your friends. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do when something happens? Do we have a plan? That's why we always encourage friends to bring friends to self-defense, because of those people, if you're with them all the time, then you guys have a personal protection plan that works together. Not that you're going to be together all the time. There's going to be times when you're going to be alone. But when you are together, you guys know what you're going to do. Tag team. So, all right. I hope you guys learned from this. This is a very valuable life lesson. Some of you are going to just scooch on by. I end up seeing you guys self-defense, begging, please, I need self-defense now. I hope it's not too late. This is not a nice to know, it's a need to know. And hopefully you never have to use it. It's one of those things that you're better off knowing and not needing than needing and not knowing. Boom. Man, it's throwing out t-shirt T-shirt slogans today. All right, you guys have a fantastic Saturday. Drop some comments below. Let me know. Have you ever had a situation where you didn't know what to do? Or did you have a situation where you had to step up and do something about it? Or did you faint or did you freeze? Hearts, likes, wows, happy faces. Care Bear stares. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Saturday out there. Man, it's going to be a nice day today. And until next time, start strong, finish stronger.